What's going on, guys? Tato here, back again with another video on Phasmophobia tips. Today we're going to be looking at some very advanced tips, some more advanced tips. If you haven't seen my other video on beginner tips, go check that out right now. Top right? Is this the corner? Is this the corner? I think this one is the corner right here. Yeah. So as I mentioned, today we're going to look at more advanced tips for more advanced runs to cut time back on your runs and improve in certain areas and mechanics. Let's jump right into the video. So the first tip of this video is going to be using the spirit box. The spirit box is obviously very useful in speedruns because if you didn't know, it's actually a very good way to know where the room is. Most people don't actually use a spirit box right away, and they just only rely on thermometer. Which isn't that bad if you think about it. Thermometer is a really good way to find the room, but using the spirit box will actually, one, test out one evidence and tell you right away if it's close or not, and if it is, then you'll find the room in absolutely no time. So use it. It's very useful. You can find rooms in foyer very often. Use it right away when you enter the house. You won't regret it. On to the next tip. Now the second tip for this video is going to be using the photo camera in a specific way. This is going to be way more useful in solo and duo runs in which you have very limited inventory space. In solo 100% runs, the camera is actually very useful because it can actually replace the UV light. The UV light is often used to spot out fingerprints very easily, but some people don't even know that if you take a photo of the door or a light switch or a window that has been interacted with and there's actually fingerprints on it, if you go check in your journal the photo afterward, it'll actually say fingerprints regardless of if it's lit up by UV light or not. So what I'm trying to get at here is that you could actually replace the UV light entirely with a photo camera if your objective coincide with that. Let's say you get dirty water, photo of the ghost, and ghost event. That means you only need the photo camera and two other objective items to get the ghost. It sounds very hard, but it's really easy. All you need to do is line up with the object that has been interacted with and just take a picture and then check in your book. Obviously, if you're not very fast, then your times may plummet because you're looking in the book and standing still, not doing anything. But I recommend when you're looking in the book, just spamming trigger words at the same time so that you can actually get the most out of your time. Good? We still following? Alright, let's get into the next step. The third tip of this video is going to be about the ghostwriting book. Most people, when they use the ghostwriting book, only just drop it in the room and just leave it there for the whole game, check around with it if it's been written in, and just don't move it at all. That is very unoptimized because if you didn't actually know, moving the book closer to things that the ghost has interacted with will move the book closer to the actual ghost itself. What that means is it increases the chances of the ghost interacting with the book because it is closer to the ghost. Obviously, it doesn't guarantee that you're going to get ghostwriting. It just increases your chances. You can actually get ghostwriting even if the book isn't even close to the ghost. But it's better to move it around to increase your chances. You never know what might happen. It's good. On to the next tip. Ghost events. Now this is a very weird objective because ghost events can proc while some might seem like it's a ghost event and it doesn't proc. So when you're looking for a ghost event, you're actually looking for a door being closed and the ghost screaming at you or just, spooking you. That counts as ghost event. What does not count as ghost event is an appear state for the ghost. If the ghost is emitting the grudge sound, which is like basically the weird gurgling that I'll play right now, then that counts as a ghost event. But if it's just moving towards you, then that's not a ghost event. Yes, I know, it's weird. The game's coded weird. Did I mention that this game was in early access? It's in early access, so it's bound to have glitches here and there. But while that doesn't count as a ghost event, pretty much everything else does, so watch out for those. Now for the actual tip. Yeah, I know, really long explanation, but you'll get what I mean. Getting ghost events isn't actually very easy, because if the ghost wants to appear and do the little gurgling noise that I played earlier, then it needs to be away from the player. What I mean is, if it tries to spawn inside of the player, it won't actually spawn, and it will emit a ghost event, as it will close a light or it will close a door, but it will just not proc. So what I'm telling you here as a tip is to stand away from the ghost. The farther you are, the closer to the wall you are, the better, because it increases the chances of the ghost not spawning in your face and just not proccing the ghost event at all. So stand away from the room, just back yourself up in a corner, trigger the ghost, try to get the ghost event, and you'll get ghost event pretty much 100% of the time. The time though, you might not get it quick, you might, I don't know. It depends entirely on the ghost activity. On to the next tip. The EMF Reader. Now, I did a tip on the EMF Reader way back in my other video, check it out by the way. But this tip isn't actually for the activity board at all. This tip is similar to the book tip that I gave earlier in the video. Moving around the EMF towards interactions that the ghost has actually done will actually increase your chances of getting the EMF 5 reading. Obviously, there's always the board that you can look at, but when you're playing solo, you don't actually have the time to look at the board constantly. So getting this EMF 5 on the EMF reader is actually a very, very useful thing. Unlike most people think, the EMF 5 rating doesn't affect the whole room. It creates an EMF 5 zone. So even if you have the EMF down in the room on the floor, if it interacts with the book on the other side, it will not emit the EMF 5 reading. You actually have to move the EMF to the interaction. So move it around, check for interactions, check your EMF around the whole room. You'll get EMF 5 way more often when it actually is that evidence that's needed. So that pretty much concludes today's video. But wait, what do I hear? It's bonus tip. It's a bonus tip, everyone. I have a bonus tip. Oh my god, I know, right? It's so amazing. I know, I'm amazing. Subscribe now. I'm just too good. So the bonus tip for today is actually very dull and obvious, but some people don't actually get it. So I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna flat out say it. Phasmophobia is an early access game. So it's bound to have many changes. In my previous video talking about beginner tips, I mentioned a spirit box glitch. That spirit box glitch has since been patched, and all the runs that have been submitted that are using that glitch have been deleted from the leaderboards. What does that mean? Well, that means that if you use a glitch in one of your runs and the glitch gets patched further down the line, then your run will get deleted. What I'm trying to say here is that you shouldn't be leaning on glitches, especially for an early access game, to get good times. If you want to get good long-lasting times, I would suggest against the idea of abusing glitches such as the locker glitch, the book glitch, and so on. It's also good to note that changes also include non-glitch related stuff, like the new temperature update that updated the thermometer and the whole temperature and how temperature works as a whole in the house. It's now much harder to spot the ghost room using the thermometer. Although it can be done, it's way more difficult now. It might cause a very big disruption in the current leaderboards. So yeah, stay away from glitches, make sure you're using the most up-to-date version so that you don't get your run deleted like 2 weeks after it was submitted. Good? All good? Alright, thank you guys for watching. I appreciate you watching till the end. It means a lot. These videos take a lot of time to edit, and I appreciate every single view. And I did not mean view as in views, I meant view as in you. So if you liked my content, and only if you did, please subscribe down below. only 97.2% of you aren't subscribed. That's not a big number, honestly. I couldn't care less, but honestly, it would mean the world if you subscribed, but only do it if you like the content. Press the like button if you want more videos like this, and I will see you guys in the next video. Goodbye.